saying it's either going to be Kayak or Alpha. Alpha, 1000% the unsung hero of that first map, the utility, the thorns, the flashes. Every single time that those retakes were going to happen, that they were going onto the side, he was 100% locked in. Let's see what Vitality is doing with their comp. No double duelist here, Billy.
The Sky, though, makes me kind of nervous. I think that any time that we've seen Unfake away from the Sova, like the Killjoy on Haven, for example, is where he kind of looks uncomfortable. I'm really concerned about potential team flashes. I know that sounds kind of harsh to say, but I think Yampi on the Tejo is really interesting. Kron on the Viper. Classic, to be honest, on Vine.
Classic, and honestly, one of his best maps here on the Viper. Also, now that they're starting on the defense, just like on Abyss, especially when you have both the Tejo and the Sky. How aggressive are they going to be? How are they going to work with the utility? Unfake in some of those rounds in the previous map, using the drone and everything a little bit early, not leaving that for the retake. Like, there's some measuring here and there that has to change on the side of Vitality. And I agree with Coach Milan. Like, how much were they expecting this to be the route? I think it was like 50-50 between the two, but I think that Fnatic learned a lot from how to deal with Bind and against Navi.
Yeah, I think as well, like, it's good when we're thinking ahead about the global event as well, picking into a map, even though it was so close against Navi the other day, having that confidence, as you said as well, Ginny. Yeah, I'm just really intrigued by this team Vitality composition and how they're actually going to be able to get the best out of it. I think working on the defense is going to be really, really key for them when you're thinking of those choke points, fighting for showers with this Tejo Sky kind of utility, and setting up some crunch plays in those areas.
Yeah, if anything, this is Vitality's opportunity to prove themselves. Lose this and you drop to that lower bracket, win it, and we're going all the way to the decider. Everyone is looking forward to this matchup, but Fnatic are currently in the lead. Can they continue that on their own map pick? We're finding out with our casters, Mitch and Tom.
Well, let's see if history is going to repeat itself here for Fnatic. A flawless record up against Vitality as an org. We're even talking outside of partnership, by the way. I mean, these guys do not lose to Vitality. And after that statement map 1 on Abyss, Tom, I don't think they're looking to see any changes to the history books here today.
Yeah, it's kind of nuts. The stat was they're the only team that Fnatic have never lost to, which is madness when you think about the caliber of players we've seen on Vitality and the caliber of players we currently have on this version of Vitality.
Strange team Vitality, though, aren't they? You see this here. Team A and Team B.
Weird.
Okay, sorry. But the assistant coach is handsome. So Team A being the first team that picks, but also it means you don't get to choose the last map. Most teams go for Team B. In fact, Vitality, the only team that want to start out first. They don't care if you get to choose the last map. They'll beat you on anything. Except Abyss, apparently, if
it's
you're
also
Fnatic.
Interesting because then you ban first, right? So it means that, like,
you give them a lot of choice.
They then go, oh, well, I know that that's gone, so I get to choose. Yeah, I can see why people would normally go in the other direction, but hey, each to their own. Having the first map choice might have been something they didn't want after how it went. It's not gone fantastically well. They do have this trap set up, though, ready and waiting. The trap has been sprung. Unfortunately, the guy that was meant to swing on it is dead.
Yeah, and even then, what is Unfake supposed to do there? Flash and peek around the corner after the Yours TP'd back and the other players are far back on long playing anti-flash who swing you and kill you, and now it's a 5v3. I think it's the right call. Flash and bail on out of there, but you know, already a leg up for that attacking side, and the B site so passively defended. No salvos for Yampi, like he can't even disrupt plant. This is going to be a hell of a hold, but I like this. Okay, if he's playing outside of the site, they are forced into a pretty tough retake, but having this little bit of extra map control that Yampi's jumped up into in Hookah, that could change things.
Yeah, but it's something they're well aware they do not have. Special delivery thrown out, but not going to delay them too much. Sight is under their control. It allows for a faster rotation at least, and it seems like they're already on the hunt, trying to kill off Betcash, but they will fail. In fact, he takes all 3. What? They knew he was there, and even still, an in-zone flawless. Never put him on Jet again. Never, ever, ever again.
He's so good on Viper, man. But, I mean, Viper is the reason that he's in this position on the map at the time he is. But they saw him running back towards short. The immediate turn from those players who TP'd, from Yampi, who was previously playing the site. They say, okay, give him the site. They're singing, man. That's got to be an awful thing to look across the stage and see.
That's worse than being shouted at.
Yeah,
way
100%.
Worse.
You just see him vibing, dancing. But this is the thing, yeah, for Vikash, the fact that he gets 3 when they turned their sights on him. They said, screw the sight, we're killing that guy, and then we'll fight after. And they didn't even get close. Nice shot for Kayak, and he's out. Vitality can't do anything. Yeah, 21 HP left on Yumpy. That's unlucky.
Wow. Something tells me they're probably going to go B on the Fnatic side.
Okay. Talk me through that.
They've seen them all.
Okay, I like that.
That's about it, really.
Actually, you are lying. They heard them. There was a Viper wall up. They heard them TP.
They could have sent through a load of those clones they don't have.
Yes, true. Got to be wary of that.
Boombot actually decided to stand on its own 2 legs for once and make a louder noise through the TP. No, they know exactly where they are. And realistically, for Vitality, you don't want to just give orbs over. You don't want to give over another to the Viper's Pit or the Orbital Strike. You go back years and years, and the same story is there, that Fnatic are post-plant rats. They always have been. They are the guy that you hate playing against in ranked, because every single one of their players has some form of disgusting lineup, except, and you know, Kayak could still have a lineup, just not in the way that you're thinking. And for now, he wants extra orbs, and will claim 2.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the end of the world. Poor Crashies can't catch up with them in time. And 2-0 we go for Fnatic. 4 players left alive. And a solid start to this map as well. This is what we want to avoid if you're a Vitality fan. Hell, if you're just a VALORANT fan, you don't want this to be a 2-0 blowout. And after that first map, we're definitely in that territory. I heard on the desk, Billy was saying, you know, maybe Unfake will be uncomfortable on that Sky. Pretty much, there's one agent we want to see him on. But when it comes to the Flash there, his play, can't criticize it. No faults just yet, but he did get shot through the smoke. Hopefully he has a bit of a lookier time in the next few rounds. And folks, you know what? Let's sit in with them for a moment. Let's take a look at some of the in-game comms from Vitality during this round.
No one.
Nothing.
Okay. Ancient B.
You can take it.
Just take it together. Fuck it. We'll pick.
1, 2 people. I'm moving.
Hey, mollyt garden.
I
want to set the big side.
Kron, can you wall up zone?
Yes, walling up now, boys.
It is fake,
They're
but
not out. They are not out.
use 2 smokes, guys. And Viper molly CT.
Taking belong. I leave.
They are in hook,
I'm
guys.
Hold down, boys. Hold on.
The smokes are gonna fade.
Yeah, I'll play with my flash.
I smoke belong.
Hook up rim. It's a B exec for sure, guys. Can we flash a bit?
I need the under.
And here we go, the exec coming through. They certainly knew it, but Vitality, oh my goodness! They react splendidly with everything picked up. Durka, Yumpy, hold strong. And yeah, they knew the hit was coming in, but I expected a bit more trouble on their hands than that.
Yeah, it's quite funny because after the last map, you could see how much almost Yumpy is solidifying that this is a B hit, when it clearly looks like one, just because they were fooled so much when it came to Abyss and the quick switches of Fnatic. Of course, a bit more of a bonus round, so...
Easy free assists.
He's back.
It's always nice.
Okay, but...
Pop that wall up. And he's got the assists lined up 1, 1, and 3. There you go. Well, poor Kron, you know, we looked at the last map as well. We highlighted him a lot. We said he was going to be doing a ton. And he had a tough time against his former team. He's going to carry through to this map. Kayak already under pressure. And it was Chronicle pushing him down, but despite him being blinded and forced back, all that they get on the side of Vitality is the map control. Valuable, but there is a fight brewing for whoever makes the mistake of stepping forward. My God, again! It just can't be this good!
Yeah, I feel like there's going to have to be a new strat of don't walk into the angle that Vekash is holding, because it seems like that is instant death. Similar to the old school shout of avoid CNED, I feel like Vitality have to avoid Vekash. It's going to be another round that it almost feels lost already. Now, they do have 2 players on the right side of the map. Fnatic maybe expecting a reaction to stack up that B site. Instead, Durka still remains.
I mean, they need big pickups for this to be worthwhile.
More
from that defensive side. Yeah, I mean, picks here. No roster changes. The time being run down, though, is nice. This is making it doable. But Fnatic are now ready on both sides. Kayak's got that control towards the bathroom. Getting around there to deny that plant is going to be very tough indeed. Vikash making damn sure of it. And Crashy's by his side, the man who was dominating the duels in the previous And it will be closed out at 3-1 for Fnatic. Vitality left looking for answers.
Yeah, I think they're going to be left looking for Vekaj. Like, it's just madness. Like, they are trying
looking for Vekaj. I don't want to find him.
Just, as I said, it felt like the round was done from that moment. Like, you have to gamble, and they had players in the right position, but still so much utility available for Fnatic to play with. Like, if you go into a full X-cut, even if all three players are there, you should still come out on top. And almost a immediate reset back. Obviously, it was a decently clean round in the last for Vitality, so that does mean that they come in with 4 rifles. But it also leaves them with a Bucky.
Ready.
It's a really passive smoke. It's the orb, of course, going up there towards B long. And for Vekaj, that's just robbing information out of the hands of Vitality. They had to send their dog down already to try to grab that bit of information. They see no one waiting there. Prowler's coming out on A. Like, this is a tough one for Vitality. There's presence being shown across the map, and we can see that if they try to respond, like, okay, B long and A short are being pressured, let's push bathroom, or let's push short over on B. There's someone waiting across the board. A very, very patient play from Fnatic is what you expect, but it does sort of tie your hands on that defense that you just kind of have to wait and be very patient to not burn up too much utility in that early round.
This is now more of the ruse we expected. Crashy's throwing in those Prowlers on one side of the map, trying to bait rotations, leaving. Well, now 2 players there, as it does start to come in for Yumpy. Bear in mind, still having utility to deny them. But more importantly, they managed to drop that spike. Bucky in position, but shooting the boom, but it's lost. Showstopper being utilized. It's a dance with death, and Durka takes the kill. But the rotate back is still there. They still had left Crashies behind. However, Vitality did not full rotate.
No, Unfake stayed patient, and Profex even come back. They think Profex the tip of the spear. Little do they know, there's a dagger in the dark. Boaster, try as he might. He won't make it past Profex. Another round for Vitality. The scoreline stays close.
It almost goes back to the comms we were talking about earlier, where it felt like Yumpy was making doubly, triply sure that they hadn't just been baited into a false rotation. This round is almost the settlement of that. Like, okay, yeah, I'll rotate. I'll throw in salvos. We'll use a showstopper. We'll use pieces of utility. But then we hold. We keep 2 players on the other side of the map. And when Fnatic eventually goes for that late rotation back, we will be there. We will be waiting. Second round. An important one. They had a Bucky. There were pieces missing, and well, Durka wanted to fight. I think that's 2 Sheriff headshots. Chronicle is 10 HP.
Yeah, he's had to flee. And stuck in the back of this side. Even that nade could be deadly. He tries to run, but Crashies catches, and now Fnatic 4 versus 3 with a Viper's Pit down. They are well and truly favored, flipping the script on its head, and Vitality have to play the retake. They're close to some ults, but nothing that's going to help them. The thing they have got to clear that pit, though, is the dog on Unfake. I don't think they're going to use it.
Oh yeah, Boaster has a molly available. If that gets him a kill, that's orbital strike, so they can't allow him to get a singular pick here. Crashy, bear in mind, desperately low, but good use of the C's will allow him to escape, and that's now a showstopper available for Alpha here. Those ultimates were close on the other side, but he may not even need it. Just taking the raw firefight, leaving Unfake alone, and well, I don't know if you could hear that spike. I certainly can. It's getting faster and faster by the second. He needs to escape, but Crashies, what was that? 15 HP? Don't care.
Yeah, 0 stress down on that stage. He's all smiles and smirks. 4-2 for Fnatic. And with the state of the Vitality economy, it should well be a 5-2 start.
Did he hit the second one while blind?
I think so. Yeah, timeout's being called from Vitality. No surprise there, as this does feel like Fnatic's opportunity to run away with it. Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Still can't tell. Even while slow mode, seeing what he sees didn't seem to be enough, but 2 very high damage shots coming out of Kayak, and definitely feeling the pressure a bit now. On the last map, it came a little bit later. They were able to get some rounds on the board and felt like they were getting back into the game a bit, but the second they had a moment here on the Vitality side, Fnatic break back with a couple of weaker purchases and make it work. And with this being the map that would send Vitality in towards that lower bracket with an arch nemesis and Liquid waiting down there for Pal. These are the BBL squad of last year, had nightmares facing off against that Liquid team. Sure, they have already seen them falter earlier in the tournament, but it seems to be a different beast facing them later on. Speaking to Nats yesterday, he just said, yeah, we don't really like the easy road. We like to go all the way through. We like to play all the rounds, all the maps. They'd like to get into a final first time, because at least then, oh sorry, second time, at least then you do get a couple of chances.
This it. A timeout from Vitality, and it leads into a very low buy, but one that still has potential. 3 bandits on your screen, alongside the classic for Yumpy, and a stinger on Chronicle. It's not the best of buys, but you can definitely see the idea with Vitality having 4 players towards this B site. It has to be Durka to scare them away. His shadow has to be bigger than the man that stands to set it, and with 4 players right now just grouping up outside this angle, this would have to be a sensational performance for the Bandit to steal the round away. I don't think he's going to send them running, and I don't think he's going to get anything. Indeed, Alpha shuts him down. And now the retake with these weapons, well, that's certainly not where they're favored.
We saw it when they played together that they would share the race duty. Oh, it is the double nade. I thought it was going to get 2. It was so close to taking down Unfake as well. The C's nade combo almost just ripped all their lives as they stand, but they still stand a little longer. I say a little longer because they're slowly being picked apart. This is quite an audacious angle from Alpha, yeah, but it just shows the faith he has in his teammates to, well, cover him off.
No need for risks, you'd imagine, but then I see Crashies with an Outlaw stepping into that angle, so no need for them, but it doesn't mean they won't come anyways. Chronicle steps forward, does more damage. Alpha's now running away, okay. But there won't be more orbs to claim for the man 1 away from a Viper's Pit. He'll have to find that in the next round as the rest of the squad has left the site. They will allow him to go down to the spike. Almost hope they don't kill him there. If Vikash got that pick, that would have given a very valuable tool over to Vitality for the start of the next. Either way, they come in with 2 ults, 1 from a Viper's Pit, but a round very much needed for the defense. They called a timeout, not for the one we just saw, but for this buy round coming.
Yeah, this is the moment where you almost need to see the change for the side of Vitality. The fact is, again, like you look at Fnatic on these attack sides, it was a 9-3 attack when they faced off against Na'Vi, went all the way back to overtime where they eventually closed it, but we know they're good at the attack. The problem is, the later into the tournament it gets, the better they are at closing. The harder they are to defeat, and immediately we're going to see pressure put in onto Durka, and it's actually Chronicle to go. Durka was trying to flee the scene, and it's Chronicle that bites the bullet, or the rocket. You don't want to bite a rocket.
No, not when it's armed and flying towards you. For Chronicle, he's got the pit at least, but yeah, might not be the thing that recovers the round that they desperately need with his body on the cold, hard ground. Fnatic, 5 versus 4.
All missiles away.
They just have to hold the line. Great flash on backside. Orbital strike to buy time, and frankly, I don't know where Yumpy was going, but Profek, he set his sights on victory. And he's steaming towards it. A 4K already, and an ace denied, but a round's a round. A much-needed win from Vitality comes in unusual form.
I'm completely baffled as to how they get back into the round. Like, look, in my head, in that moment, I'm thinking, okay, well, they have themselves the Armageddon. They can use that to clear an angle. And then I watch Yumpy try and run through the entirety of an orbital strike while completely blinded. Yeah, he's on the wrong end of it. And then this, just immediate 3 kills from Profek. Blink and you miss it, and somehow they're back in the round. But yeah, I feel like,
come on, David!
That almost felt like a bit of a throw from the Fnatic side more than anything else.
To be fair, seeing that from Profek's perspective,
it was pretty
I would say everyone there tried to trade.
Yeah.
Everyone there did the right thing. The guys got the kill, I'll swing. You could just play passive and run time. Maybe the first domino shouldn't have fallen. But after that, just insane individual skill from Profek. And of all the times to land that, the Hail Mary play as the clock hit 0, and they landed a lifeline for Vitality. Unfake with the opening prospect there to send them into the lead with a 4v3. And now no need to play aggressive anymore.
Yeah, they've got 2 ults that can literally counter this plant completely, so there's not really any need to get over aggressive in this moment. Nightfall going to be utilized, and they're a little bit worried that they're going to be pushed. Instead of holding the ults in hand, they had to switch it up, and that's allowed for the plant to come through. As I said, I thought that was an easy moment for them. Still, though, they are in play.
That's it, they want to use it for the retake. Great flash, and Kayak and Alpha both find those picks, and now trouble brewing for Vitality. They make it to the site, but the setup from Fnatic is so patient as they wait. Flash primed and ready, diffuser blinded, but he hasn't come off the diffuse! Unreal! Balls of steel from Chronicle! But it gets them the round. Vitality 2 in a row that Fnatic have got to be salty to see slip.
If there's any man on that stage that Chronicle has full faith in, it's the one he won 2 trophies with. Trusted him to hold the line. I love the re-aggression from Fnatic. It was fantastic in that moment to get them back into the round. But yeah, as you said, just the gall of Chronicle to stick that all the way through. And after a 5-2 deficit, 2 rounds that you could argue there were good opportunities for Fnatic in. They're now going to take a pause of their own.
The round before, a good opportunity is a huge understatement. They never should have lost that. Off time alone, and keep in mind, it did get a pick, but that orbital strike was online and used to slow the push back in. I mean, off time, off utility, there's almost no way to lose that round, but they took the audacious approach. They tried to play aggressive. They tried to hammer home that victory, and Vitality have taken that little bit of greed, little overstep. They've used it to catch right back up. A timeout from Fnatic. The lead is still theirs, but the economy, we're running out of credits, and we're running out of time as Vitality are now biting at their heels.
Yeah, the worry as well is all of those ults are now gone. They expended pretty much all of them in the last couple of rounds to make sure that they got those over the line, and then they didn't. Whereas on the other side of things, hey, I expected Prophet to use that over to strike quite a few times in that round, but never ended up happening.
Worst team in 4v5 situations. That's not the Fnatic that we know. 23.5% as well, like you'd expect it obviously to be sub 50, but that 40 mark is usually what we're aiming for.
Yeah, I did say they were the best statistically in post plants, but they've just lost 2 back-to-back, so maybe the stats aren't everything.
Oh, TP behind in the bat play, but it's a little risky as Crashies stood that little bit further back. Kayak was taking point. Crashies cleaning up as the wraparound came in, and now Alpha on the other side of the map completely clears this B site. Beautiful round from Fnatic. And even as we see Chronicle, he's going searching for Crashies, waiting for that player to come back out of bathroom, but the rotate's already happened, and Vitality are late to the party.
Yeah, Alpha as well, just, he's been insane so far. Like, the entries into the site have just been so problematic.
They're coming back.
They're closing in on him.
Yeah,
just
we've got
wait. Okay, around this corner.
Can you shoot, distract him? I'll come up behind.
I don't think he's here. Have you checked lamps?
Wait, and yeah, unlucky.
He must be in lamps.
Get a little save out of that situation now. And actually, Crashies is coming back. He's filling back in the space that he gave to them just moments ago. Chronicle won't see him unless he goes very, very deep, and I think this will be just a tuck on the box for Crashies. Spike's about to go, round's about to end. 4 players left alive on Fnatic. 2 weapon save for Vitality, but well, good bounce back after the pause. 2 left to play for in the half. We could see this neck and neck. We could see a real opportunity for Vitality, or Fnatic could run away with these last 2.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like the play here was nice, but just Crashies not pincered on quick enough. Like, Unfake with the flash. It's that instant shot onto Yumpy, and then he's having to try and get his gun back out and react, and by that point, he's no longer blind.
Guys,
it's just a good...
Me, if you win the run, and if Profek is next to me, I'm gonna spam him his body.
The real tactics that we need to discuss. I'd love to see it.
I'll duck her onto the operator. Still credits in the bank for Vitality in this round, but the next one would leave them in a little bit more trouble. And the reason we didn't see Crashies hunting in the last was they didn't have too much to spare They've now built up those credits a little bit more, so an opportunity. And that's where Durka hits his shot. An opener, but this was not the play. Kayak is almost the lurk on the other side. The rest are looking to hit B.
Prophet gets sent back by the Prowler, and Alpha's waiting. A mistake as the wall goes up just a moment too late. And that second, split second as it was, gives Fnatic what they need. Pick, numbers equal, and the B site under threat. Utility sent through, won't delay as long as they'd hope. Boaster's safe to get that plan to the corner, and now it will be the retake that is put to the test. But once the smokes go down, that's Durka's opportunity. Op in hand, coming out from elbow, and it looked for a second like Boaster was going to give him the chance, give him the fight. They sit passive now.
Oh, flash in. Backash still holding on that corner. No ults, and Alfie has still been sat up top. Looking to try and go a little further, but it's Durka once again. The trade's back looking decent, putting it into a 2 versus 2, but the swing out from Backash leaves it onto one. Showstopper, a chance for Durka, needs to find his prey, and it's missed the mark. Not got deep enough. He will hit the shot eventually, but is there going to be enough time? I think he's just about got this one.
Yeah, he gets there in the end. 3.5 on it. Vitality finding their 5th. With 1 round left to play for in the half, and it comes down to an ultimate, a 1v1, and a big play out of Durka. But it was enough. The op, and it found the pick early on, but here the opportunity given to it by Alpha re-aggressing. I thought this ended it though.
Yeah.
From Vikash, really nice play, waiting for his opponent to push, and then wide swinging, catching him off guard, but Durka with a 4K cleans it up. And again, a much-needed round gets Vitality to 5. Neck and neck at half, still possible. And it all comes down to this.
Yeah, they've had a few moments now to get the blood pumping out. But yet, see you later. Spammed out immediately by Chronicle. And honestly, that's been the danger man. He's been the problem to try and fight against thus far. An unorthodox plant for Crash. He's just about going to survive. Fade back into the decay. But it's definitely not the norm in terms of plant positions.
Time ticking for Vitality, but the advantage there to play with. Orbital Strike clears a lot of nasty corners, but Vikash has again stepped up to the plate. A Viper's Pit available, but no chance to use it. It keeps going from up top, but the defuse already made it to half. Problems as now they need to swing, they need to stop it, and Prophet stands and waits, taking every battle. Vitality goes 6-6, blow to blow with Fnatic in the first half.
And insanely close back and forth, and so much more to come. Make sure you join us after the break.
Women will want.
Have a break. Have a Kit Kat.
Wingman World while wanting a well-won break. Vamos!
First impressions of coming to this team is incredible. I can see why these individuals have been successful before, why they are part of this team. I don't know if I can say surprised, because of course I have played like such players as Chronicle and Derge before. I know how talented they are, but just how hardworking and how like good-minded people and kind people these are has been the most like amazing thing to be working with them.
Come on, boys! Eco! Did you guys have Eco? Oh, bro, I can't say that we lost a million Ecos past couple of days.
Yeah, I see a lot of people calling us a super team. I don't consider ourselves like that. I know we are an incredibly good team, but yeah, a lot of eyes are for sure on us, because a lot of people want us to not succeed because for whatever reason. And yeah, I'm just gonna be excited. I think that gives me even more power to prove people wrong, because a lot of people are wanting us to fail. What I will bring to the 2026 roster, comparing to previous years, I think you'll get a lot of energy, a lot of fun moments for sure.
Jumpy, start calling better! Let's fucking go now!
Finnair Airlines to Sunset, gonna have a little bit of turbulence.
My Twitter name is fishandships.com, and you can follow this guy over
Baked
here.
potato.
Baked potato with beans and eggs and sausage for breakfast.
Yeah.
a lot of excitement to the games, and never giving up attitude. That's for sure.
I'll be honest, I hope he has a long, long career, because I think I'm out of the job. The second he's down to come in the commentary booth, I'm screwed.
Yeah, that's Profak. Yeah, Yampi's going to be going straight to Finnair. I can't wait to see him riding sky high for now, though. 6-6 on the scoreboard. It's a better half. It's a better map even than the previous, which was Vitality's pick. They got destroyed, but now bringing the heat when it comes to Bind. About to mount their attack side, though. This is where things could change. Again, for Fnatic, they have just looked so well put together, especially in that first map. Vitality have a lot of ground to cover in this series to get back all the way to Corrode.
Yeah, a lot of it has been on that attack side, though. That's where we have been seeing Fnatic do their best work, especially in these couple of maps. But then again, if it doesn't work on the defense, what you can do is just play the attack on your defense. They have already pushed all the way through Showers. They are looking to come in on a hot flank. Now, it is being watched for, but does Unfake expect them this far? He does. And that's an important win in the early round. Does he expect the second? No.
He's so far back as well. Alpha had just started wrapping all the way around back towards that B site, so he gets the jump. And the numbers equalize. Smoke soon to fade. Is Durka going to stick around when it does, or is he backing out? Yeah, they're spamming through already, suspecting him to be here. I'm surprised.
Still got Nate.
He's still up so close, and yeah, okay, Nate's gonna be thrown in. He backs off. Chronicle takes poster, and now the only problem is the fact that they can't be wrapped on. They still don't know where Alpha's gotten to or when he's going to strike. Durka, though, up close, keeps this favored. Vikash pulling it back. Alpha's now by his side, and they can make it to this spike, but the time is so desperately low. And with Salvo still to play with, that should seal the deal in favor of Vitality. A big pick, though, that could turn it into Fnatic's favor. Alpha got ahead of the problem. Realized another salvo could come, so he threw himself right into the mix, and my goodness, they've got a pistol as a result. That one looked dead in the water.
Yeah, for sure. Again, so many moments that you look at from the Vitality perspective, like the opening, okay, sure, it goes back in the other direction. The early aggression that they managed to have up close to slow them down even further, and then still hold on to that utility, but Alpha, yeah. And that has been the case throughout this map so far. Him and Vekash have been flying.
Correct me if I'm wrong, though. Yampi still had a salvo. If he pulled one down there off time, he would have won. But instead goes for the fight with his teammate. Maybe a little mistake. Maybe I misread, but I'm fairly certain he had two and sent one. Either way, for Vitality, a pistol that doesn't land in their favor. Fnatic now the chance to run. No. All right, Alpha. All right. I thought maybe he'd at least give it a bullet or two to relax, to reset the spray, but no, okay, beautiful transfer, good damage done, and already dealing with a lot of the problems that Vitality could bring to the table here. Profek's on 6 HP.
Oh, timing.
No ground.
Oh, never mind.
All right.
Just about got far enough around the corner. Getting anywhere near Kayak with this gun in hand is going to be very difficult. Not a lot to play with, of course, for Vitality, but
one enemy remaining.
It does feel like they could have been the ones with the weaponry in this round, and now Vekash on the hunt, looking for Unfake, and it will be the end zone flawless. As good as it gets on that defensive second round for Fnatic.
Yeah, it's a real thorn in the side as well. Again, looking back at that pistol, the fact that Alpha's able to have so much impact, not just with the flank kill to start, but then that late play, the double that kept them alive. This one, I mean, it's not much to say about it. It's an eco, and it goes the way ecos normally do. Some nice flashy shots, but digesting this for Vitality, it's got to be tough. Difficult pill to swallow indeed, that they're now trailing by 2, but the rifles come out. Thing is, in terms of the buy for Fnatic, it's not that bad. Spectre, if you haven't played this patch, you might think that's a big weakness, but not anymore. It's in a pretty good state right now. And the rifles and the Outlaw to back it up. Fnatic won't pull many punches when it comes to this round.
Oh, yeah, I'm just looking at Alpha here. How far does he go, or is he just waiting out the smoke? His teammate under serious pressure, so him winning a fight on the edge of the smoke could be everything. And, well, he's played Chronicle at his own game. A double molly trade, and well, there you go. Yampi finally realized the Chronicle's like, what are you shooting at me for? He's taken down Alpha here.
Oh, that was a decision as well. Look at the toxins on Vikash. He's got the 80 as we swap back to him. That means that the call was there. Drop the wall, let me get 2. And instead, the wall going down crumbles the play. Fnatic, still they can make this costly. Remember, they came in with weaknesses, and there's one. Unfake. A little lost in the sauce in the close corner. Spotted, dealt with, damage done to Yumpy already. Get the round win, unlikely, but how costly can it be? Left to 2 already. Crashies with a chance to bleed their bank dry. The time already gone, but now with Crashies falling, at least 2 will survive for Vitality.
I feel like we're cutting to Chronicles cam. I don't know what I've just seen him do on the camera, but it was very interesting. It must have been hilarious from his point of view, though. Just have your own teammate turn around and start shooting at you, and yeah, I don't know what's gone on there. There you go, just the spin around.
Well, it's not a bark.
Well, I'm not sure if it was.
I'm not quite sure what that was meant to be, but okay.
That is how I felt in the moment, honestly. He's nailed it. Showstopper immediately picked up. Althea has managed to get that ult fairly early. Kayak under pressure, but not wanting to give up the space. The flash didn't catch him. He's able to go back for a little more. Again, still holding on to the space. He's got support. And they're not willing to give up that ground to Vitality.
Fake teleport
going through. He is really and truly out of utility now. His last gate crash being sent. Now the util belt of Kayak dry. And it looks like he wants to go and just take that bit of information. Spots that they're still outside B, but immediate rotate. Kayak's going to the A side. It is the right call, but I thought seeing them there might make them think it was a pump fake, that they were coming in late, but instead, numbers are still going to be here. Opening pick, but one more man to deal with, and they don't know about Crashies either. This could be a big problem. A snake in the grass, but those shots a little too high.
Yeah, he's lost his life to Unfake at the same time. Both are already tagged a little low. They still have Showstopper. Maybe Kayak needs to do it all. Oh, Prophet down to just 7 HP. But the fact that he lives might be enough to question using that ultimate.
Last player standing.
Now surely for Alpha, he can get Profex super low, but looking the right way is going to be the problem. Okay, it's not going to be the problem. That was a headshot as well, so screw his HP. Dragging one more into a fight. Yumpy's down halfway, will be achieved. And a showstopper in the back pocket if he wants it, but a guessing game of Warriors! Alpha, yeah! Another big round! And they're all on their feet this time. A standing ovation for the Red Bull clutch. Oh my God, he's having a game 22-7. But what is this?
I firmly believe this was impossible for anyone else. Like, just to even have the goal to go for it, he almost lost his life immediately, not looking the right way. Turns back around, reads exactly where Yumpy is, kills him off with the nade and the shot, and then with a split second to spare, flips on his old teammate.
I didn't even think he'd get the first. Wow. Okay. Well, Alpha's come to play here today, and so is Kayak. I mean, those are pistols, no shields, but it's still, it's got to feel like you're being beaten into the dust for Vitality. 10-7 down and finding yourself in that position in this manner. You were about to challenge Fnatic for the lead, about to put it neck and neck, about to push their economy out of the realms of feasibility for a buy, and then Alpha stands up like that, stands tall, and then here you get shut down by the initial fight.
Yeah, well, we saw earlier that they're not great at 4v5s. Maybe they're just much better at 1v5s. Or there's somewhere in there that the stat alludes, because in these clutch moments, I fear that it doesn't matter who's alive for Fnatic, they can still turn it around. Vitality asking an awful lot. 30 seconds, 3 players with pistols, no ultimates online, and Althea's standing in their way. I can't think of anyone worse. He'll take 2 for his troubles, and for Profek, he's walking into death. Kayak waiting. 10 rounds on the board for Fnatic, and we question, will they still have the legs when it comes to the defensive side? It's looking pretty good.
Yeah. The fact that Alfier won the 1v3 without using Showstopper means it's available coming into this round. Dimensional drift for Kayak as well. Man, Fnatic looked like they were in danger. The red lights started to blink, but they sent their hero out. 24-8 for Alfier. And a timeout called, Vitality being pushed to the limit. And today, Tom, they haven't stood up to what's on the other side of the stage.
Oh, no.
They've not been able to weather the blows coming out of that Fnatic side.
No, on map 1 we saw crashes. On map 2, Vekash started the game off. Unfortunately for him, he has been eclipsed by a man who can eclipse anyone. He's an MVP of international tournaments, a man that can take over at any moment. Of course, you look at the damage per round, and he was number 3. Of course, this is kickoff before today. Maybe after today, he might be number 1. Of course, the ones up there against him are actually playing in our second game, Larok, and of course, Lovers Rock, the double duelist from BBL. And while for Vitality right now, a few head scratches, a few moments that they're living to regret, and they got to try and turn it.
It's worth noting as well, the graphic shows you that, he's above average in every stat, but KDA, bang average. Oh.
He's not getting enough assists.
He is top 4 KD in the tournament, so when you add the assists in, a couple losers get brought into the mix, but Alpha's the real winner.
Yeah, look, he's only got 3.
It's hard to assist when you're killing everyone yourself, and I think that's why KDA is a trash stat, and KD shines through. Alpha looks unbelievable right now. He's having a great season. He's leading or in top 5 in almost every stat, and right here against some former teammates, he's hitting another level.
Oh. For Vitality, that's both pauses gone. That was a last chance until OT to check in with the coaches. Kayak on the operator. It's a missed shot and not really an opportunity for Durka to pounce. In fact, though, Kayak is not worried about trying to keep this control. They're still going to commit the boombot on the other side, but he waits. He takes the shot anyway, looking for a little more. Kayak. Well, he did it versus the Eco. He's doing it versus the buy. Pause. What pause? Only Chronicle stands. And this was meant to be the turning point. We spoke about 1vx scenarios. 1v5 needed.
Yeah, that's the problem when you take that little break, but nothing changes when we come back. Fnatic double digits. It's going to turn into 11, and for Vitality running out of time. This is it's almost karma coming back to bite them again. I think for the folks that didn't quite catch it earlier on, we have the skirmish now where we decide who's going to be that team A, who's going to be team B.
Vitality won that at least.
2 players sent forward, well, 2 people, 2 representatives sent forward, and yeah, Vitality did win, which must mean Pal did a lot better than all the other skirmishes, because he's been competing in all of them so far, right? They sent their coach. It was great that Fnatic did the same.
Yeah. Unless you watched it and Chronicle was there.
Yeah.
And Milan did manage to get a few rounds, to be fair to him.
He did. Very good against the long-range judge.
Yeah, when Chronicle was jumping over the judge. But hey, I think it was Ginny saying it yesterday, the team that wins the skirmish more often than not loses the game. So evidently,
well,
he should have sent Pal.
Yeah. That stat is... it's going to get a little more convincing, perhaps, in a couple of rounds. See, coming into this, right, you've got that full economy invested. Vitality left with a couple hundred credits between them, 1,000 or so. But for Fnatic, they've got the credits, they've got the rifles, of course, but they've also got those ultimates to fall back on. Both teams do. But for Fnatic, they are the ones that are sitting on that finish line. They don't have to make the big play. They don't have to dump their ults in. Vitality might have to. They're the ones with the pressure on their shoulders. And it starts out with a big ult and a response from Alfier. He's caught Durka mid-air. Alpha, the anti-air cannon, and Crashies holding down in bathroom, sending Vitality slipping further and further down that scoreboard. The round not done yet, but I wouldn't even be surprised if Vitality saved at this point.
It's kind of a screwed if you do, screw if you don't sort of scenario. You give them 12. As said, earlier in the tournament, when they were playing against like a Foot or someone that maybe you consider a bit of a weaker opponent. Fnatic took their foot off the gas. I can tell you for free, it's not going to be happening in this series, even though Alpha get an uncharacteristic whiff. It's not going to last very long. Boaster, he hasn't had to get too many kills so far. He's crazy on the assist, though. That will be 12-7. A chance to keep that stat going of beating them again and again and again and again and again and again and again. And Vitality, well, there's one man that they haven't been able to steal. That man's leading the pack.
Yeah, I think he might be locked down by whatever salary he can think of.
Well,
At this point, he better be.
He'll either be Fnatic or his roommate, one of the two.
Well, 5 rounds in a row for Vitality, an OT and a map 3. That's what they need.
Durka's turn.
To rewrite history, to defeat Fnatic for the first time in Valorant's history. We often talk about partnership because they were scrappy days in the olden days, but no. Vitality have never found success against this squad, and it may be set to happen again. Durka finding one, but Kayak's hot on his heels with the Durka's just about made it away.
Viper's pit in play. Orbital strike used to try and force them out of Lamb. Sunfake getting ready to pop out on the other side, and he will manage to deal a death blow. He's being spammed out, though, by Vekash. His second kill of the round. Time, though, has been ticking for a while. And as you said, they are throwing everything at this. All the tools in their wheelhouse. Vekash has managed to find Chronicle. That's now the diffusal halfway done. They actually have a little bit of time. It has to be someone a little bit healthier. Boaster is going to go down. And now, unfortunately, there is nobody left standing. The Red Bull clutch will come through. But as said, Vitality had to throw the lot.
Oh, yeah. Oh, they very much did. It is the old Revenge of the Sith. They threw the kitchen sink at him. Desperate times and desperate measures, but measuring their success from this point forward is the key.
If a healthier player did that, they might have lost.
It doesn't. It would have been very close.
It would have been very close.
For sure. Yeah. 4 rounds in it, but those ultis expanded on both sides. He's looking good. Wouldn't you be? 4 rounds now. Ultis are dry. It comes down to round-to-round play. Yumpy has a classic. I'm missing something. Why does Yumpy have a where's the gun? It's dropped somewhere?
Navera? Is that you?
2.1K on Durka. Why does Yumpy have... What are we doing here?
Like, I've seen bundle promotion, but this takes it to a next level. Timing is going to be everything. Like, the worst thing is they won't even know the second player is there. That one's for free, and now a nasty surprise for Chronicle. So many gaps being left in the behind of Vitality. And well, those are going to sting in the morning, I'll tell you that.
Oh, Crashies with another. Down A. This is now Vitality on their last legs, but they won't crumble. Not if Durka has something to say about it. 50 seconds. Alpha on the other side, dominated in so many fights. He gives a chance, and Durka takes it. A 1v1. Crashies, the man leading the charge in the last map. And now he stands against the man who used to wave this very same banner with 35 seconds and the spike under his control. A C's still to play with, and post-plant he could even have a reveal. No pressure for Crashies, and he plays it cool.